Welcome, Thursday night. Michael Cole Live, 270. We just keep moving on. We are still in search of awesome sauce. And tonight is no different. Miss Erin Mohr is in my green room waiting to come out. I consider her an associate educator Jedi. I follow her on social, and I've just been watching some things that she's changing up in how she works with associates and how it's literally reinvented and reimagined her appointments. And wait till you see what it's done in the terms of, yes, indeed, a big ching-ching. I think that's what really got my attention. And she is the owner of Up and Up Salon in St. Louis, Missouri. Shannon Rusher is her coach, but I said, when you come on tonight, Erin, I want you to take off your salon hat and put on your hairdresser hat because you're doing some amazing things. And because Lisa Musgrove Kibler is in the house, I wanted her to actually hear what you had to say because Lisa, I know, will be inspired by it. So, at any rate, let me give you some stats on her that really got my attention. First of all, look at her growth in W-2. 40 grand in 18, and then more than doubled it in 2019. Gets just this side of six figures in 2020, the year of, the pandemic. And she will end up, she's trending 121, 122, depending. She might even blow through 125. So that's like a $25,000 increase in W-2 this year. That's like a $500 weekly increase in personal income. Think about how that changes your life to go up another 500. So she is definitely blowing it up. I don't want to take anything away from her story, but in her timeline is graduates from high school in 08, hair school in 09, starts her career over. She'll tell you about that in 2018. Independent, working on opening up her own salon. And like I said, in 18, she goes from 88, and then she's trending like she's got it almost down to the dollar, $121,333 plus in 2021. So you can see what got my attention and why I wanted her on tonight. Here's where she hangs out on Instagram. It's at Erin on the Up and Up. And I think you'll find she's just really an architected just a great branding of herself and her company on Instagram. So check that out as well. She is in my my green room now, so I'm going to go and get her talking a little bit about her story, and then the biggie is get her to share some of that incredible secret sauce that she has. She has up her sleeve, and you're going to give it up for her big time. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for. I know that you had to do a lot to make it happen, and I think you have just had one in the chair, two in the bowl, three waiting. You got through your day and showed up a couple of minutes ago just in time. So thank you very much for giving us a few minutes of your.
My pleasure.
And you look fabulous.
Thanks.
I'm
at work.
I love the art, the tattoo art.
I'm all mixed up with this camera situation.
Well, you look great. That's it. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
What is that, by the way? What's that symbolize on your sleeve? The sleeve.
My poor tattoo artist, he's amazing, but I sent him a 10-minute video. I was at a concert. And it was a really long song, but the artwork behind the song was just beautiful. And I took some video of it, and I was like, I sent it to him. I'm like, can you make me a sleeve inspired by this? And he really just blew it out of the park. So he's amazing.
It had to be a best yet. So compliments to the chef. Hey, listen, we want to get you started on the story because the story always gives us an appreciation about the journey and helps us get to know who you are as an individual before you as an artist. So I love your story. Get us started. Who are you, and how did you get to this place you're at now, and what was it like for you getting there?
I started out of hair school in 2009. I went to work at a salon that was like this tiny little salon. I worked there for a year, basically got nowhere. Like, talking about W-2s, when I broke down by the amount of hours that I worked to what my W-2, because I didn't know that this wasn't maybe the most legal situation, but I was an independent contractor. And when I broke it down, I was making like $3.33 an hour.
Oh, God.
And so I knew I had to get out of there, and I needed to find a place that would give me education, because I was stuck in this predicament. And actually, it's really funny that I'm talking to you about this, because I remember when I was in that salon, my boyfriend, who's not my husband, is now my husband, but he was going to see you. He was going to see a Michael Cole class, and I wanted to go so bad, but I was too ashamed to ask my mom for a loan for the ticket cost, and I couldn't afford the ticket. That was when I realized, I'm like, I can't even afford the education that I need to progress my career, because I'm not making enough. I need to find a salon that's going to educate me and that's going to have like a path for my success. So I did find a salon that had great education. While working at the salon, I actually started becoming an educator for L'Oreal Professionnel. I worked for them for about 7 years. Back in 2018, I was really just unhappy with the salon where I was at. And it was nothing about the salon. It was more about, it wasn't in the location that I wanted to be. I wasn't doing the clients I wanted to do. And I'm from St. Louis City, and if anybody is here from St. Louis, like, the city and the county are like light years away, like just completely different vibe. So I already lived in the city. I wanted to work in the city. I had a dream of opening up a salon in the city. And one of my favorite clients, he passed away and of a heart attack at 33. And it really just inspired me. I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, why am I sitting here unhappy? Because I'm afraid to make the leap. So I did. So I had a non-compete that I wanted to abide by, and I dropped everything and moved, about a half hour away from the salon that I was working at, where I had a full clientele and I was doing very well there. It was easy money, and I started over. I started about a year later. I decided I needed to hire an associate. That's where you see that income jump.
Yeah.
Because I had an associate. And so I went from about 40K a year to about 88.
Wow. That's a big leap, by the way. That's more than double.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
It felt amazing, especially my wallet.
Yeah.
And then we quickly outgrew that room. So I moved to another room, and within a week we looked at each other and we're like, this isn't going to work. I'm like, I guess I have to open up my salon early. I was on a 3-year plan, and that just wasn't working because we were growing so fast.
When you decided, like you were saying, we were in a room, what were you, like, renting a suite or something?
Yeah, we were renting a suite, and the suite was fine. It wasn't a life for me. I was very lonely in the suite. I like to be a part of a team, and in the suite, you just don't have that. Right. I used to tell my associate, Katie, that I half hired her to be my friend. And because I was tired of being lonely, like, you're in front of clients all day, but that camaraderie that you have with your coworkers is just so great. And, I just knew that I needed to open up my salon sooner rather than later. So I entered into I'm sorry, it's been a long day. I can't talk. Negotiations 2 weeks before the COVID. And then COVID shut everything down. I backed out of that deal and randomly found a turnkey salon. It was already ready to go.
Wow.
In a better location, in my dream location. It was like it was meant to be. I was even able to.
The universe was conspiring to help you.
Yes. Yes, I definitely believe that. And so Katie, my associate, her and I just jumped into the unknown and opened up our salon, and it's been crazy and scary and amazing. And now that it's taking off and growing, and I'm starting to see that I not only turned one associate into a very successful stylist, I then did a second one, and now a third one, and now I have another one that's about to go on the floor, and I'm turning them out like that. But to see that they're doing so good, my salon is like doubling in capacity. We're always busy. And, our rebook is crazy. Like right now, this month, we're at like a 31% RTS.
Wow.
And it's because all of my stylists have trained under me. They know how I do things, and they're doing the same things with me. And it's been great for my personal income. It's been great for my salon survival.
Oh my God!
It's been pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the your stats. Level 6, age 31, $156 average ticket. You're doing over $1,000 a day, 1,056. Your average ticket is almost 3 times your haircut. You're well over 100 referrals a year, running at 85% rebook, and like you said, your retail is off the charts. So, I know that once you opened, you told me earlier you started working with a Summit coach, Shannon Rusher. When did you go to Summit?
I went to Summit like literally a month and a half after my doors open, and I walked out crying, thinking my salon's gonna close, but it was exactly what I needed. We have really just trusted the system. And, I meet with my coach every month, and it's probably my favorite 2 hours that I meet with her of the whole month, is because, we talk about my business and the growth. And, I've been just really trusting the system and making it work, and just having faith and everything's going to work out. I decided, I'm like, look, I don't know how to run a business. I've never done it before. So I'm just going to rely on these people to tell me what to do.
Right.
So,
well, it really is, it's paying off in spades, and the fruits are amazing. So as I listen to the story, wherever you were a year, 2 years ago, whether you want to call it in your financial life, your personal life, your business life, your emotional life, that where you're at now, I mean, there's no comparison. It's like you're almost in a different universe. What's it like to be you? What was that experience like as you were kind of like moving through life at like Mach 5 supersonic?
I have to say there's been parts of it that have been really tough. I mean, all the change is always very, very scary. And then people are telling you like, oh, your associate's supposed to. When I went to the summit last July, and they told me that my associate had to like help me paint balayage, I was like, you're crazy. This isn't going to happen. Like, no, they're not going to help me foil. No, they're not going to help me paint balayage. Like, maybe help me apply a single process, maybe do my shampoos, maybe a blowout, but like, no, you're crazy. And it wasn't until I was just like, no, I trained these people very well and have faith in my own training abilities. Also, just knowing that these people coming out of cosmetology schools, they're not like it was whenever I came out of cosmetology school. Like, they are seriously talented. I look at their Instagram, and that's how I find all of my associates, is I'm a big stalker. I like to find them out. I stalk them. I invite them in for a complimentary power mix. That's our deep conditioning treatment for L'Oreal. So shampoo, power mix, blowout. Let them experience like what the vibe is at our salon, and then, that's how I reel them in. And then I get them to interview. It's a very tricky strategic
So you
thing,
actually go out hunting on Instagram for prospective associates, start following them, start engaging in conversations with them.
I do,
That
yes.
brings them, lures them in, pulls them into the salon. You have the conversation.
Say like that, I sound like a creep.
Oh no. This is as a matter of fact, Julie Rubino, I don't know if you know Julie, but she works in the Summit Association training team, and she was, as you were talking, she said, "Oh my God, all of these answers are exactly what you should do." She says exactly what you should do it. So you and her are going to have a conversation after this conversation, because you're a prodigy of, and it's working for you. So here's the thing. So, like, what do you see yourself? What's next year look like for you? It looks like you're like midwifing associates, and you're growing a salon that way. How long before you outgrow the space you're in now?
Well, the goal is, my dream is to open up another location. There's a different side to me. So like the vibe at this salon is high end, laid back, fun, cool, trendy. Like we're in this like really hip part of town where there's a lot of college students, a lot of doctors, residents, but there's a lot of like younger people. So we have a very like fun vibe to the salon. But there's a side of me that really wants a very luxurious, high-end salon and spa. So that's where my eyes are on next. I'm trying to basically outgrow this place within the next 2 years to where that we can expand. Again, staying in St. Louis City, but because I have a real love affair with our city. I'm a very passionate person about it. But I feel like I just have this whole vision and this vibe that I need to get out. And, I love business. My dream is to kind of get away from behind the chair eventually in the next 10 to 15 years. But I'm very driven by money. And so leaving behind the chair is always going to be hard. But I think if I set things up right, I'll be able to do it.
I love it. Now, I want to pivot and get into the secret sauce about why you're here tonight. But before we do, you said something, and I'm watching my board, and people are making comments. They're going, "Oh my God, I did that. I love that idea on how you find people," because the recruiting today, most Summit salon owners they struggle with that now. And you said, you made the comment, I go and find future associates on Instagram, stalk them, whatever you want to call that. But how do you, like, that first initial, what do you do? Are you going into a hashtag community to, like, how do you find out? How do you find them on Instagram?
I go to the schools.
And
I start at the schools. And then I go to the people who have tagged the schools, and they're usually the students. Yes. So then I just go onto those students' pages. I start blowing up like all their pictures with likes and comments and making sure that they're getting lots of love by me. And I actually do this with way more people than I probably need to. But if there is somebody that I'm really impressed by the work, I then reach out into their inbox and I'm like, "Hey, I own the salon in the Grove. It's a really, we have this associate program, a little bit of like a little blurb about us. I would love for you to come tour our salon and check it out. And we could give you a complimentary blowout with deep conditioning treatment." Because to be honest, being in a new salon, we haven't built our street cred with the schools yet. They don't know who we are. And we've tried, but between COVID and just the way the schools are in St. Louis, like it's hard to get into the schools.
Oh, yeah.
For a while, I was going to...
You've cracked the code.
Yes, you got to bypass the schools.
Yeah, but you're going to the schools on, it sounds like the Instagram page.
Yeah.
And as you crawl the Instagram page on the school, you find students on that either they've hashtagged and then you start going out hunting, finding their Instagram page, seeing something interesting, as you said, engaging, giving them some love. From that, there's a conversation started. Then there's an invitation. Don't look now, but I would call that the Summit Supersonic secret. This is how you recruit people, because even if you can't get into a school, it doesn't matter. You freaking crack the code.
Yeah, you have to do something, because if you sit there and you wait for somebody to come to you, they're never coming. I remember thinking last year, it wasn't until October I hired my first associate. And that was when Katie, I was like, I can't keep you with me anymore. Like she was like half a stylist, half an associate. And it was a mess. She was really just doing me a favor at that point. And when I got my first one, it's like, then the ball got rolling.
Oh
And
man, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna change your name. You're gonna be the AKA. You know how to hack and crack, hack the system and crack the code, because that would get the Academy Award for the secret sauce of finding people. The essence of a great idea is that it's simple, and that's so simple. Your idea is simply genius. So we're going to give it up for you for sharing that. Now, pivot to, because what got my attention is you did a post, I don't know, must have been a month ago, about maybe a couple weeks or so, where you said, I pivoted from on the 30 to on the 45 and I was freaked out about it and blah blah blah. Tell us about that part.
oh God, that was really scary. So I had this goal of hitting $20,000 a month in hair. And my coach was like, well, you know the difference between where you're at now. And my average was about 10, 11 thousand a month. And she's like, the difference between that and that is, it's another associate. You need to hire another associate. And at that time, I was realizing that I wasn't doing the associate program 100% right. So I listened to all the audio and everything, and they said, book on the 45. And I was like, well, how does this work? And Shannon told me, she's like, you got to do your haircuts first and then do your colors after. And I was like, oh, I still don't know about that. Like, I really do think I could still get more people in. But again, having that faith and trusting the system, just going for it and figuring, well, maybe I can get to a point where I can then book on the half hour and then still do it the same way. So anyways, so that is the next goal. But basically, I decided to start changing the way that I booked. And I started doing all haircuts and colors at 45 minutes. It doesn't matter. Anybody just gets a 45-minute spot. And I adjusted my books to do so. And, really that has changed everything, because now when I get that haircut only client, instead of maybe only being booked for only enough for a haircut, I'm like, well, I know I have enough time for a color. So why don't I just ask you if you want a color? I mean, I had one week where I had like 5 haircut onlys on the books. And I asked all of them, I'm like, do you want some color? Like, some highlights would look really great. And all but one of them said yes. And the one that said no said, oh, I would love to do that. Let's book that for the next time. I don't have time today, but let's do that the next time. And I'm like, oh, wow. I just added like probably close to $1,000 on my books within that month, that 1 week. Like, that was crazy. And that's really like, if you look at the growth that I've had, when I finally just changed the mindset and changed the story that I was feeding myself, because I kept telling myself that's not going to work. And then it did.
Wow. So, a lot of people watching tonight, by the way, and somebody said now they're saying they're laughing because I said when I said that you hacked the system and cracked the code. They said that was so funny, but it's so true, because you're finding your own way and your own voice, and it's working for you on your recruiting. It's working for you on your hiring and developing. Now it's working. You kind of reimagined how you do time. So a lot of people watching tonight, and they're saying, gee, I can really relate to her. She's organic. She's speaking to my soul, except I'm not at where she is. I'm at in the part of her story where she was. And if I took the giant leap, like you said, some pretty bold things. You said I just had to trust the system and just do what these people tell me to do. So they're probably asking themselves, wow, I'm on the holy jumping off place. If I take the jump, will what happened to her happen to me? What might you say to them that might increase the odds that they take the shot?
stop the BS stories. You know, I used to tell myself, oh, I can't have a 20% RTS because my service ticket is too high. And, you know, that's just selling too much retail. And the minute I decided to stop saying that, like literally the next month, I went from a 16% RTS to a 25% RTS with the same prices. So, you know, I think it was the same way with booking. It's like, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. And I was like, well, what do I have to lose? If it doesn't work, or if I'm making less money, then I'll go back. Like, nobody's holding a gun to my head and making me do this. Like, I'm choosing to do this. And yes, my goal is to drop that time to 30 minutes eventually, to where I'm booking on the half hour, but doing it the same way. So to be clear, this was something that didn't make any sense to me, because when I heard booking on the 45, I heard, oh, you've got a color for 45 minutes, and then you've got the haircut for 45 minutes. Booking on the 45 is one single person. You get them for 45 minutes. It doesn't matter what you're doing. And what's cool about that is it really does allow you to be very strategic with how you're booking and the offerings you can offer. You really have the time to make that color offering to the haircut only.
Right.
And so, but at the same time, it is terrifying because all of a sudden you have to trust these people that just got out of school to do work like you do.
Right.
And I would be lying if I told you we haven't had hiccups in the road.
Right.
But, you know, in the end, like, they are talented, and I just have to trust them and have faith in what I'm teaching them and what I'm doing is going to work.
Yeah.
And yes, we're going to have good days and we're going to have bad days, but most of my days are good.
Yeah.
And, you know, my clients like it. They love, oh my God, they get so excited whenever one of my stylists gets a promotion and they go out on the floor. I mean, they're all cheering them on. And like I said, I just had an associate graduate my program. Her first day on the floor was in the beginning of September. And she got out of the associate program. She's already doubled the goal I set for her.
Wow.
Like, I set the first month a little modest because I don't want to like crush their spirits, but she doubled it. Like, she'd hit the goal like by the 14th of this month. And I'm like, oh my God. And she's got an 85% rebook. And I'm just like, oh my God.
All right, so you're blowing my mind, and we're out of time, but I want you to make a couple promises to me, if you would. First is that
Okay.
you'll come back for an encore sooner rather than later, because I think you're on a roll, and I think you're just getting warmed up, and I want to stay real close to you. And you're what you told me you're like L'Oreal Silver or Platinum or something.
We just went up to platinum.
Okay, and so
Yep.
you're probably gonna hit what is it, L'Oreal Diamond Black Elite Black.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping so.
Oh yeah, you will. Yeah, I know you will. So promise me you'll come back for an encore. But
Absolutely.
all right. So you said something tonight. Frankly, you blew the sides off my brain box. I wasn't ready for, because you and I hadn't chatted, but it was such a golden nugget on how you're recruiting. I would love I'll get back to you afterwards, and we'll kind of work through your step by step. It's like 3 or 4 steps. It's basically, I'm going to call it, how to hack the system, crack the code on recruiting, and then I'll post it on my page for the people that are watching tonight and that will be watching. There's going to be several thousand people that will engage in this conversation over the next month or so. So would you be willing to do that for me, Erin?
Absolutely.
All right, and even do some screen grabs of, like if here's a screen grab of the school that I find on Instagram. Here's a screen grab of the hashtag. Here's a screen grab of how I found. So it's like screen grabs of your
Nice.
yellow brick road. I'm getting goosebumps now because it's so freaking awesome. And then we'll put it we'll put it on the page, and it'll be Erin's secret sauce.
Awesome. We can do that.
And then the other thing I'm going to do is I now, every Monday, I do private Zooms for L'Oreal professional communities I would love to have you on as a guest on one of those as well, because and those are just that's invitation only, because I'm intuiting that you're doing things that are so simple that other people haven't thought of, and it's and like I said, the essence of a great idea is its simplicity, and you really keep it simple. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that would be great. I'd enjoy that.
All right, listen, I know it's been a long day, and you had to rush to get here, so I'm going to let you get home to your hubby. And thank you, like, tons for what you shared with us tonight. This was truly an inspiring half hour. We're going to give it up for you one more time, and then we will be in touch with each other, yes?
Awesome, yes.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to give it up for Erin Mohr one more time. Thanks, Erin. Have a great night. Bye now. Wow. You guys, I got to hit the big boom button. I got to hit, what, did you guys get what I heard? You guys? We wrote a program tonight for goodness sake. How to crack, how to hack the system, crack the code. I think I'm going to create a new program called Hackers and Crackers. What do you guys think of that? Hackers and Crackers. Those are the. I'm talking in tongues now, so I'm writing all this stuff down so that we can get it. Hackers and Crackers. How to hack the system, crack the code. And now we're not breaking the law, for goodness sake, but this is called innovation. And for those that, gone are the days where owners are whining that they can't get into the schools. Like, they won't let me in. It's like, who cares? Hack the system, crack the code, do what Erin's doing. She just figured out another way around it. And actually, I think it's a hell of a lot smarter than, going into schools and doing dog and pony shows. So give it up for her one more time, will you guys? I mean, it was just unbelievable. So if you're new to us, you're watching Michael Cole, Millionaire Stylist on Facebook, and we have conversations like this every Monday night, every Thursday night, and what we're going to do on my Michael Cole Millionaire Stylist page is we will, over the next few weeks or so, take tonight's conversation of about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, cook it down into probably 10 minutes, and then put it on my IGTV channel on Michael Cole Millionaire Stylist. So make damn sure that you do that, will ya? I am now putting what I call production value video work on a .com, summitsalon365.com, and I'm working on mindfulness training. So, mental, emotional wellness, mindfulness training on how to show up with much greater personal presence, because in mindfulness, basically, you're hacking mind to tap power so that when you show up, you're on fire, you're enthused, you'll love it, and you can access that on 365. So. Look into that. You'll enjoy it. Then, no, wait, there's more. You gotta, if you go to the Michael Cole Millionaire Instagram page, under my link tree in my bio, it'll get you access to a whole bunch of really cool calculators that were made just for hairdressers. I got one called Dream Machine. Now we got one called the Salon Team Dream Machine. Magic Day Calc, Golden Goose Compound Interest Calc, and the Debt-Free Debt Reduction Calc. And when I say it's free, it's compliments L'Oreal, so go and take advantage of that. You guys, this is all free stuff. SummitSalon.com is like hours away from launching their new website, so you're going to want to get on that. I was on it today. I brought on a little secret tour today, and it's just amazing. So stay tuned. More will be revealed on that. Always like to end the program by thanking L'Oreal Professional Product Division. They are the exclusive business partner of Summit. This is all of L'Oreal's brands. We got Biolage, Pulp Riot, Kerastase, Pureology, L'Oreal Professional, Redken, Shoe Matrix Mazzani, and of course the Salon Emotion brand. Thank you, L'Oreal, because of your financial support. We can bring programming like this on Facebook and Instagram right to salons. And again, if you enjoy this and it gets you some, traction on your action, these are our brands. To the degree you support them, L'Oreal's in a position to continue to support us so that we can bring it to you. So it's the Summit triple win. You win, Summit wins, L'Oreal wins. So, remember that. So thank you, L'Oreal. Been a great conversation tonight. Going to let you get back to your fams, and stay tuned. We'll be back. I'll be back on Monday morning to do a Zoom private L'Oreal Zoominar for a lot of salons that are looking to be Generation C salons. So if you're interested in that, DM me. Then Monday evening we have an interview scheduled, and another interview next Thursday. So can't wait to see you. Have a great weekend. Love you all, and see you on campus.